Is this okay? All right, so first of all, what we did, we created eyeball, the Lambert, and the colors, and I chose this Lambert length. And first of all, we need to check on this texture so that we can see the color that we are adding here. Okay, this is what we did. Okay, this eyeball. Do you think this is okay? As eyeball. What do you think? I mean, design-wise, acceptable. But as you can see, this sphere, this eyeball, has many actually many triangle. There's some triangles. Actually, yeah, bunch of a triangle on both sides. So probably this is not a good idea to create eyeball. Although I show you guys, to create eyeball and by starting with the sphere. And what we're gonna do, instead of using this, I like to use in a cube. Okay. Let's make it a little bigger. I'm gonna model into kit. I'm gonna use the smooth tool, probably twice. And then anyway, once you hit the 3, you will get the kind of perfectly smooth surface on this sphere. Although we didn't study with a sphere, but we started with a cube. But we have ball here, eyeball. So let's make it a little bigger here. But you might wonder how to add iris like this. You want to try the same thing, like favorite materials, and I'm going to use phone here. And then where's my phone? And the color, checkerboard, and ramp. Yeah, we're going to do the same thing. You see, this doesn't work because this one has all 4-sided faces. And this doesn't have any triangle, so this doesn't work. So what I would like to do, we like to use instead of spheres, and I'm going to use this one. What is this? Okay, the name of this is disk, just flat one. And then see, I'm going to go to channel box. I'm going to rotate this direction. All right. So place it right here. Something like this. Good huge as iris. I'm going to make it a little smaller. And by the way, this disk doesn't have any angles. Okay, this doesn't have any, the triangles or angles. All 4-sided faces, unlike this one. This one has a bunch of triangle. Right. So after this, and right click and favorite material. Let's find E. There's a new one. And color, make a little darker. Like this. Let's get rid of this old one. Anyway, we're not going to use this. It is okay. So if you look at this front, it was fine. But if you rotate this one, we have some gap in between this disc and this eyeball. Okay, this iris and eyeball, and this is completely flat right now. It's completely flat. You can actually add a little depth, a thickness. Okay, now thickness. Probably too much. 0.01. What about this? Okay, so good object. So if I hit 3, kind of smooth. Yeah. Yeah, it looks not bad, but we still have gap. So look at this. We still have gap here. This probably is not good. And then next step is we like to glue, actually attach this iris on this curved surface on this eyeball. So to do this, probably order select iris first and hold down shift and then select the eyeball. I don't know if you ever tried this one, shrink wrap. See what happens. Oof, look at this. See, and then I select this iris and go to attribute editor and find the shrink wrap. What the closest one? There are a couple options, actually more than a couple. There's 5 options. Toward inner object, and here's toward center, parallel, vertex, and I just tried several different things here, and we can keep. Okay, I can try to keep most one. See, and then offset. A little tricky here, and we see I think we're very close, but we still have a little gap here. What about target? Yep. See, and then something like that. And then what if I select the everything and then hit the 3? Yeah, I can't say it's perfect, but it's kind of better, at least better than the eyeball that I created with the inner sphere. This one is better. So as you can see, we don't see any angles, any triangle, all rectangles and squares. But anyway, those are all four-sided faces. All right, so I'm gonna combine this two. Now this is just one object. Okay, so from now on, so we're gonna repeat the same thing that we did earlier. It didn't work, for whatever reasons. And first of all, I'm gonna go to create in the nodes primitives, and the one we need to select is a sphere. Okay, let's create it. There's a sphere. So before this, okay, so create enough primitives and spheres. Instead of selecting this just word sphere, I'm gonna click and select this empty box. What else we can experiment with? X-axis free. Yeah, must be 360 degree and radius 1. Number of section doesn't really matter. But 16, around the 20, yeah, 18, 16, 18. So if your number of a section and number of spans are less than 10, that thing, see, less than 10 is like 8. See, look at this, 8 and 8. Yeah, in terms of scale of those faces, I think a little too big. Okay, let's try create envelopes and the spheres. Say instead of 8, 8, I'm gonna go just 18. What about 18? The reason why we need this number of a section and span is because we will convert this nerve sphere to polygon later. So those polygons will be 2 eyelid, left eyelid and the right eyelid. And then let's create this. All right, we just create this and place right here. And then if you go to attribute editor, you should see this make nerves and sphere. This is nerve sphere. This is not a polygon sphere. So it's nerve spheres. And with this, and then you can say rotate it like this. Okay. Since iris is right here, not back, I like to rotate it something like this. Rotate something like right here, iris. Okay. And then you can open and close. If like it close, yeah, close, open. Then rotate a little bit more. Say, open, open. Okay. A little bit more. Open. Yep. Okay. Again, this is a nerves in a spheres, and then we need to convert this, modify, and convert nerves to polygon. And don't just select this, but you need to choose this one, empty box, to open convert nerves to polygon options. Okay, one thing you should be careful here is we tried actually general and count, both didn't work. OK called. But anyway, control in a point. I'm going to select this control point and translate. Yeah, all rectangles and at least the four-sided. Yeah, that's now I'm going to move this to here. All right, let me select this knobs sphere again. These knobs spheres will work as a controller. So now this will be controller. And then let me select this controller and go to attribute editor. And then do you see now you can open both. Okay, what is this? This is a right eye. And then we need to make one more eyelid, eyelid. So that's eyelid. And select this knob sphere and modify and convert. And the control in a point and then translate. All right, so now we made a two. This should be left and eye lead. All right, right eyelid, left eyelid. Okay, again, I'm going to click and select the controller. All right. See, what about this eyeball? I'm going to duplicate this. Controller. Yeah, it works until here. But what didn't work in the last class was the expression. Before this, okay, I'm going to add the depth thicknesses, the wall thickness on the two eyelids. Okay, so it's like this. I'm going to open a little bit. No depth. Let's say no thickness here. Two eyelids. Command E, extrude, and go to thickness. Probably this too thick. And then I'm going to go even 0.05. I think that'll be enough. So now once you hit that 3, now you have a nice thickness on the both eyelid. Okay, controller. Do you see what I'm going to say? You can open and close like this. Expression. Okay, the one thing that didn't work last. Expression. You need to go to eyeball linking, and all you need to do is just copy this one. Yeah, just copy. It's kind of long in the line. Let's just copy. And the controller, you can actually select the either in the start and end. The right click and create new expression. Name of expression. I'm going to just type EX and make notes here and the start. Yeah, I select the start. Right, the start here and go here, paste it and create. See, I don't understand. This works now. It didn't work the day before yesterday. So now I'm going to select the controller. Let's select it. Do you see after adding an expression, the color of this box turns to purple, light purple. That means you have added a new expression on the start strip. That means this doesn't work from now on. So you cannot drag this. Only this works. So this means we don't have to move each bar individually separately, but when you just drag this bar, it will take care of both, both eyes, something like this. So the next step is, what if you like to move the rotate the eyeball? Use the instead of click and the rotating like this, use this one, knobs primitive, and this is circle. Actually not. What I'm doing now. All right, this circle, knob circle, go here. Okay, we are making another controller. Okay, remember this is knob circle. I highlight this and hold down, shift, and select the eyeball. And go to animation. You can find it constrain there. And choose this one, AM. All right, now let's select this. So instead of rotate, click and select the eyeball and rotate it, just grab this simply, and then you can rotate it like this. So let's copy this, duplicate, and place it here. And I select this controller, new controller, and then shift click eyeball, constrain, and aim. All right, let's do this. We see, move like this, and then you can move like this. What if you like to move both? Select this, and select this, and move together with this. Also, you may just create a larger sphere. So maybe you can use one of this. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this and make it a little bigger. Right click, control vertex. All right, so we have 3 circles. Those are all controllers. So now I'm gonna make this one the largest one as a mother, like parent, and then these first the child and the second child. Select this mother first, and first the child and second child, and then constrain and the parent. So now you don't have to select individual controllers for the left eyes and the right eyes. Select this parents only, and then what happened? And this one here. Select parent. Yep. So now we can move it like this. And how to animate this one? So now we know how to move those eyeballs. Definitely we should go to timeline, and then let me hit in S, the first keyframe, and then I'm gonna go to frame like 50, for instance, and then we'll move this. Before this, don't forget to click on this auto keyframe in the toggle key right here, and then frame 50, and move to the right. All right, Maya just created a new keyframe for you. So let's play this. So like that. So if you like to repeat, of course you can add more keyframe, but let's check the graph editor, something that didn't work last time. And I like to make some repetition. So in graph editor windows and graph editors, animation and the graph editor. So if you go to graph editor, you should, what was this shortcut? Okay. Shift option and the right mouse button. Now we can see. Look at this. This is it. This is curve, nice curve, easy in, easy out. Okay, these are 2 keyframes, then made this animation. Okay, this animation. How many frames I use? 50. I use only 50 frames. So what if you like to repeat this one? In last meeting, I select this one. See, this kind of mysterious. I couldn't move this, but now we can move easily. Anyway, so you can click and select keyframe and move it freely. And if you like to add another keyframe, like for instance 100 right here, and you can set now. This is actual right click. Yeah, you can add insert keyframe. Right click, insert keyframe. Do you see here insert keyframe? And then grab this. Okay. Oh, so this is what happened. So I cannot drag this down. And then guys, can we choose the middle mouse button? Yes. There we go. Middle mouse button. All right. Left mouse button doesn't work. After this initial 2 keyframe, this is new keyframe I just created. I just edited in graph editor. So left mouse button doesn't work. So you have to use a middle mouse button. So we have created 3 keyframe, and one set of animation we created here. See, something like that. So if you like to repeat this one, repetition. If you like to create a repetition. Let's try again. I'm going to select all these 3 keyframes, and this is a region. Okay, 2. See, highlighted here, and then I'm going to make a little. So if you can make a little faster motion and slow motion, you can slow down, faster, slow like this, and after this. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4 icon. The first one is pre-infinity. The second one is a pre-infinity cycle with offset. Okay, post-infinity cycle. This is probably what we need. So if I click this, do you see infinity? So now, if you play this, why? I know we have only 120 frames. That's why. Let's go like 2,000 frames so that we can see repetition that we created. So although if you take a look at our timeline, although we have created only three keyframes, 1, 2, 3 keyframes, so you see continuous. And what about the eye blinking? Eye blinking. Eye blinking. So we animate eyeball. So we didn't actually animate the eyelid. So to animate eyelid, you need to go to controller. The controller. If you mind those controllers inside of this in a polygon, you can actually hit H so that you won't see, hide it. You won't see anymore. And attribute editor, let's animate this. How to animate this? All right, we understand how to animate like this. But now we like to animate this one. Not only animating eyeball, but also we like to animate the eyelid as well. So go here, and this with. Let's go back to first. Right click, and you will see set key here. So look at this set key. Yeah, the bounce turned to red. That means we created the initial keyframe for this eyelid. And I'm going to go to like a frame 50. And open this. Go like this. Too much, right? Something like this. And then don't forget to, and the swift right click and the set key. What happened? We have created 2 keyframes for this eyelid, but we don't see any keyframe here. Confusing, right? We created 2 keyframes by using this set key, but we don't see any keyframe. You don't see those keyframes that you created, you animated what it was eyelid only in graph editor. Graph editor. Graph editor. Okay, now it's like this. Do you see what I'm talking? See? Now it's a see this. Eyelid. All right. Rewind. Do you see this? Okay, watch again. What if you like to repeat? Well, you can repeat animation, graph editor. And select this, you can repeat. First of all, there's one keyframe. Now we can see these are 2 keyframes. We don't see those keyframes in our timeline. There's here 1, here's 2. All right, so I'm gonna go to like 100 and the right click and insert keyframe. Oh, come on. There you go. This is the keyframe. Remember, left mouse button doesn't work. It worked in earlier version, I believe. So you should use the middle mouse button and drag it up like this. Repeat, highlight it, and then click this, infinity. Now, see, repetition. Now close this. Now it's a C, repetition. Right click, work speed. Let's see. Too slow. Window, animation, graph editor. And then highlight all these 3 keyframes, originally the 3 keyframes, before actually we apply this infinity things. And the reason you can make it faster. And you will see very fast now. Now look at this.